We spent 4 days exploring Seoul at the beginning of April. Spring is a great time to visit, and each day we would check out a different neighborhood.
Seoul is a massive city with tons of things to do, so here are just a few highlights from our short visit. First on the list, ride the cable car up to Seoul Tower. We decided to buy a one-way ticket up as we plan to walk down the cherry blossom path later.
The platform outside the boarding area is a great spot for photos. Once you arrive at the top, there is an overlook filled with graffitied characters and love locks. You can already see some incredible city views from this platform before even going up to the actual tower, and the cherry blossoms just made it extra beautiful. There are a couple of fun immersive experiences as you walk to the elevator in the tower.
When you step off the elevator, there's a very distracting candy store immediately on your right, but we quickly remembered what we actually came up here for. There's quite a few options for food at the tower too. We stopped for lunch at the terrace and also grabbed a seasonal cherry blossom soft serve before heading down the mountain on foot.
It was a gorgeous walk, but I'm really glad we chose to walk down instead of up, as it was quite steep. It took us about 30 minutes to get from the top back down into the city. Next on the list, visit as many street markets as you can. We went to 4 different markets throughout the city, each with their own unique vibe.
Kwangjang is one of the oldest markets in Korea. It's a popular spot for textiles and, of course, food. Stalls serve a wide variety of dishes, including bindae-tok or mung-bean pancakes. We were on the search for one stall in particular, Cho Yeon-soon's hand-cut noodles. There was quite a crowd waiting for a seat as her stall rose to popularity from a feature on Netflix's street food program.
The food was worth the wait. We each got a noodle soup and shared a plate of steamed dumplings.
The Tongin Market has a great concept called the Lunchbox Cafe. You buy coins, then trade coins for food to fill up your lunchbox.
Most items cost about 2 to 3 coins, and remember to save some coins for rice back at the cafe.
The Namdaemun Market is quite large, with over 10,000 stalls spanning several city blocks.
The market is organized such that similar offerings are grouped on the same streets, but it's still a bit of a maze. You'll be shocked to hear we were there for the food, so we headed to the food street to check out our options.
Two of our favorites were the filled dumplings from this stall, and also the honey hotok sweet pancakes. The Myeongdong night market really gets going after 6 p.m. when most vendors have arrived to set up their stalls.
We would definitely recommend taking out some cash for all the markets, as it just makes everything easier.
This market also spans several different streets in Myeongdong, so we spent a lot of time just wandering around and buying whatever caught our eye.
We even picked up this little dragon friend to bring home as a souvenir. We named him Galbi.
Speaking of Galbi, eating Korean barbecue in Seoul is an absolute must. We found this place in Myeongdong that had good reviews online, and we were able to walk in and get a table after just a short wait. And it was exactly what we were hoping for.
We had previously purchased tickets to see the Cookin Nanta show. The theater was just around the corner.
Cookin Nanta is an incredibly popular show which first premiered in 1997.
The show is mostly nonverbal, with a ton of physical comedy, percussive beats, and audience interactions. No filming is allowed, but trust that we loved it.
And they make quite a mess. We highly recommend seeing this show if you visit Seoul.
Explore the royal palaces. There are 5 palaces in Seoul. We got to visit 2 of them.
Deoksugung Palace is centrally located across the street from City Hall, and actually it was also right next to our hotel, the Plaza Seoul.
The palace is open daily except on Mondays and costs 1,000 won to enter. And watch your step.
Deoksugung is the smallest of the 5 palaces, and was the final residence of King Gyeongbokgung, the last king of the Joseon dynasty and the first emperor of Korea.
We really enjoyed seeing the juxtaposition of the traditional architecture mixed with the modern skyscrapers of Seoul. And the gardens were simply lovely to walk through. This palace was a very cool place to visit.
If you only have time to visit one palace, Gyeongbokgung Palace is definitely a must-see. This historic complex served as the center of government during the Joseon dynasty. It was originally built in 1395, but destroyed several times over. Many buildings have since been reconstructed, and the grounds are expansive.
The cost was 3,000 won to enter. Even though it was pouring rain when we visited, the palace was still full of people. The Throne Hall is one of the most iconic buildings, and while you cannot enter, even just viewing it from the doorway was gorgeous. We spent a few hours wandering around in the rain.
The Gyeongbokgung Pavilion requires an advance reservation to enter, which unfortunately we did not have, but it's still lovely to take photos from across the pond.
While we chose to explore the palace grounds on our own, there were guided tours available in several different languages. There's endless amounts of nooks and crannies to discover, and people doing photo shoots dressed in traditional Korean hanbok.
Gyeongbokgung Pavilion sits on a small island, connected by a reconstruction of what was once the longest wooden bridge of the Joseon dynasty. And finally, this building is the Gyeongbokgung, a private library used by the king.
While visiting on a very rainy day was not ideal, we were still able to enjoy our time at the palace, and thank goodness there were plenty of places to take cover. Something you should save for a good weather day is visiting the Hangang parks.
There are 11 different parks along the Han River. Yeouido is one of the more popular ones, with many activities to check out, including river cruises. We strolled through one afternoon, and a ton of people had rented picnic tents in the shade to enjoy the nice weather.
In the evening, however, nothing beats the show at Banpo Bridge Moonlight Rainbow Fountain. The park is filled with people on blankets watching the show. It's just such a cool vibe. We also highly recommend walking under the bridge to get an incredibly immersive experience. Stroll along the Cheonggyechon stream. This nearly 7-mile stream is the result of a major restoration project which opened in 2005. The whole area used to be an elevated highway and is now a really cool bit of nature in the middle of all the skyscrapers of downtown Seoul. At night, the stream is well lit and there are several fun art installations to check out along the way. It was so peaceful to walk along, and we felt safe the whole time. I would definitely recommend coming at night instead of during the day if you had to choose. It's just really cool to see it all lit up.
Visit the Dongdaemun Design Plaza. The DDP is an award-winning design by Zaha Hadid. It's hard to capture the scale of this complex as it was absolutely massive. Even the rain did not stop people from taking photo shoots with this architectural feat as the backdrop. Also of note is this incredible 26-foot bronze sculpture called Shadow of a Shadow Flower Blossom.
Have a drink at the top of Lotte World Tower. This one's a bit of a cheat. There is a proper observatory that you can visit called Seoul Sky. However, we opted to enjoy the sunset over the Han River at Bar 81 with a couple of champagne cocktails instead. We could see the Lotte World Magic Island next door, even all the way out to downtown Seoul. Also, there was a bear birthday party at the base of the tower, which was an unexpected surprise.
Visit ArtMonster in Gangnam. ArtMonster is a brew pub with several locations throughout Seoul, each with a different theme.
Their concept is pretty cool. You're given a wristband to scan at the wall of taps, so you can self-service and try a bunch of different options. They have a pretty decent food menu also. We ordered spicy chicken and fries. When you are ready to pay, you just hand over your wristband.
Gangnam is definitely a neighborhood we would like to explore more on a future trip.
As always, thanks for watching. We really loved getting to wander around Seoul for a few days. Hope this video helps in your planning.
Subscribe to follow along for our next adventure.